It's Karen here, Kazina, and I'm going to do a pickups video. I seem to have amassed an awful lot of games in the last, I don't know even if it's a month. I just seem to have picked up loads and loads of games. Majority of them are PS2 games because they seem to be the sort of games that you can find pretty easily. And also, I'm a huge PS2 fan. I still play it an awful lot. So, yeah, I picked up loads of games. I'm going to be like that ad. You know that ad on telly for is it Aldi? And they go, this was £9. And this was £9. Yeah, I paid £9 in total for these games, and I paid £9 in total for these 3 games. And oddly enough, I got these all from CEX, and I got these 3 from the same charity shop. I'll show you the ones I got in a charity shop. They were £2.99 each. Well, not quite £3 each, but you know what I mean. It was nearly £9. And I think I was in one of those kind of, I don't mind paying that sort of moods that day, because I don't normally pay that much in a charity shop for PS2 games. But the first one I picked up is Naruto. Now I've got to pronounce this properly. Uzumaki Chronicles. Chronicles. The only time I've ever played a Naruto game is very briefly on my DS, and it was a Japanese version, so I didn't know what I was doing, and that's about my experience of Naruto. So I thought, hey, why not give it a bash? Don't know how it plays. I actually haven't stuck this game in. If you can hear any noise in the background, it's my cats running up and down in here, making lots of noise. So yeah, Naruto. The other one I picked up is Tomb Raider Legends. It looks very nice from the screenshots on the back. Do you know what? It's crazy. I've got Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3. I've got the anniversary collection on the PS2. And I'm not necessarily a huge Tomb Raider fan, but I just feel the need to pick them up. So, a collector that I am, so there you go. The other game I picked up for £2.99 was Spartan Total Warrior, and I picked up one not long ago, Gladiator or something or the other, whatnot, and I quite enjoyed it. It was fine. I haven't played this, but I saw a little bit of, I actually had a look on YouTube at the gameplay, and you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Dynasty Warriors, but it's set in Roman times. But I quite like that kind of, you know, repetitive kind of kind of slashing. So I think I'm going to quite enjoy that. Now the next stack of games, as I said, I paid, I think it was a grand total of £9 for all these games. The first game I picked up was 50p, Everybody's Tennis from CEX, and it's the first time I've actually seen this game out in the wild, as they say. I'm a big fan of Everybody's Golf. I loved it on my PSP. Honestly, I've said it before, but I played it to death on my PSP. I've also got the PlayStation 1 version, and I've got it on the PS2 as well. So I thought I have to pick up Everybody's Tennis, and yeah, it's quite good fun. I had a little knockabout with this game at the weekend, and really enjoyed it. It's nice and colourful, and you know, the characters make sort of funny noises when they play, but that is very Japanese, you know, but enjoyable. And for 50p, honestly, it's nothing, is it? The next game I picked up, and this is because I've been playing Midnight Club, the dub edition, to death. Honestly, me and my cousin have just been at that game like no one's business. It's exceptional. And I just happened to find Midnight Club 2 for £2 in CEX, and I did put this in and had a go, and it plays very well. But you know what? I think I've been spoilt by playing Midnight Club 3, because it just doesn't seem as good. The graphics are not as good. I don't think the handling's as good. The general game seems to be quite the same, similar kind of way that you play it, but it just doesn't seem as good. And it's an awful shame to say that, because if I'd picked this up first and was playing this, I'd probably be going, it's brilliant, but because I've been playing Midnight Club 3 to death, I'm a bit like, so maybe I have to get Midnight Club 3 at my system first, and then I can get into this. So that's Midnight Club. The other one I picked up is an unusual one, and it's called DJ Dex and FX House Edition, and it was £1. And basically, I haven't put this in, but basically you're a DJ and there's set tracks on here, house tracks, and you can mix them yourself. And now I'm a big fan of these music games, Music Maker and God, I can't remember the names of them, but I've spoken about them before. I love all those music games where you can make your own songs, so I thought this would be great. And also my sister is a huge fan of house music. Seriously, that's her thing. She loves house music, and I thought she'd probably appreciate me doing something on this and showing off a bit. Say, look sis, look what I can do. I can mix Louis Vega and the Shapeshifters, or whatever they're called. My knowledge of house music is like this. My sister's is like that, but I thought I'd give it a go. I don't know when I'm going to get round to playing this, and it looks like there's loads of things to do, and I shall probably be absolute shite at it for a long time, but I certainly will play it eventually. Another one I picked up for 50p was Malice. Don't know much about this game. I know on the Xbox, the original Xbox, it's quite hard to find. I don't know if it's the same for the PS2. I think it's a kind of Girls Eldery type game, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how it's going to play. I haven't put it in yet, but for 50p I think you can't go wrong. I also picked up another one for £2.50, and it's Ark, Twilight of the Spirits, and I think this is a turn-based RPG, and I've got on the PS1 I've got Ark the Lad, and I just wondered, is this the same in the same series? I'm not sure. Just because it's called Ark, it doesn't mean it is that so, but it's I just thought it might be. But again, I haven't put it in, but I'm looking forward to playing this because I do like my RPGs. Another one I picked up, and what I liked about this is I like the cover. It's called Spy Fiction. I paid £1, and it's a stealth game, and it's quite anime by looking at it on the back. I don't know if it plays like a brick, maybe it does, but it looks like it's quite pretty, so I was swayed by its lovely graphics on the cover and the back. Another one I paid £1 for is Bougie, and you're like this John Travolta guy who boogies, and it's got loads of songs that you can dance to, and I used to love Buster Groove on the PS1. I've still got that game, where you used to move the joystick and the directional pads the right way, and they do these special moves, and Space Channel of course. So I'm quite a sucker for these type of games, so I thought I'd give Boogie a go. And the last one, it's not the last one, but the last one of that pile I picked up. I'm kind of talking fast because I've got so many games and I don't want it to go on forever. The last one I picked up in that pile is Quake 3 Revolution. The reason I picked this up is because I said that I've never played a Quake game in one of my videos. I said games that I hadn't played. Never played a Quake game, and I have given this a little bit of a play, and it's a good game, but you know what the problem is? This is the sort of game that gives me that blimmin' motion sickness. Honestly, it makes me feel really dizzy when I'm playing it. It just whirls around so much and makes me feel a bit nauseous. So I'm not sure what to do with old Quake 3. So maybe that's why I never played it in the first place. I was looking for the games, you know, in Game Station they were doing the 49p job lots, and I did find 2 in my Game Station, well, not my local one, another one. I did find 2, which is in another pile, but they were still selling 5 for £5 and 5 for £10, and instead of walking out in a huff going that's really cheeky, when everyone else seems to be showing these great games they're picking up for 49p, like a mug, I picked up 5 games for £5. As it happened, they turned out to be pretty good. The first one I picked up is State of Emergency 2. Now, I've not played the first one. I don't own it. I know at the time it was considered a bit controversial, you know, inciting riots and stuff like that. But this plays pretty well, I have to say. It's like a bit of a third-person shooter. It's a little bit sticky in places, but it's quite enjoyable, I have to say. I did play a bit of that, so didn't mind that. State of Emergency 2. Spy Hunter, that's another one I picked up. Nowhere to Run. It features The Rock, so was this a film? Because if it was, it's gone passed me by. Big fan of Spy Hunter, the very original one I'm talking about. The GameCube one was a bit meh for my liking. However, this one plays quite well, because not only do you drive in your car, he can get out of his vehicle and he can shoot. And once you change the controls, you know, instead of when you move the gun sight to go up and it goes down, well, that didn't work for me. I changed the controls and now it's fine when he shoots. But he also can get on a bike, his car goes in water, and it can fly as well, and it's a pretty good little game, and for £1 it's well worth it. Another one I picked up is Cold Winter, the 5 to 5. Gosh, when I put this in, the actual intro at the beginning is quite graphic. This guy has ended up in a Chinese prison and he's being tortured, and someone like gets his finger and breaks it, and it's quite graphic really. I'm sure back then it was probably, I can't remember, but I'm sure they spoke about that and said, oh, that's a bit much. I suppose maybe that's why it's rated 18. But it's another sort of third person shooter game, or is it first person? I always get it mixed up. But what I played of it I've quite enjoyed. I also picked up Gran Turismo 3. A-Spec, that's it, A-Spec, and it's Gran Turismo, isn't it? And you know, I loved 1, I loved 2. I've got Gran Turismo 4, didn't have this one, so I'm delighted to have 3. And then I was a bit stuck for the 5th game, so I ended up, you know, sometimes you see games you like but you can never see you can't see nothing that really takes your fancy, so I picked this one up, Gunfighter 2. It's actually not too bad. You can play this with a light gun. I was playing it with my just my control pad, and it's alright. It's a bit like Time Crisis, but as a western, and it's not as good as Time Crisis, you know what I mean? But you know, it's a little bit sticky with the controls, but if you were playing it with a light gun it'd be great fun. So it's not too bad, for considering I didn't really know what to pick up. It wasn't too bad. Let's see, I've got a few charity shop pickups. I found this game called Robot Warlords for £1.50. It's a kind of mech game. Again, it seems to be a turn-based type game. It looks quite pretty. I think it's quite an old game as well. I had a little go at this, and yeah, it was a bit sort of there was quite a lot of information I had to take in, and at the time my brain wasn't functioning right, so it needs to be played again, that one. Another game I picked up in a charity shop. Now, I've never played any of these games. It's Harry Potter, I paid £2, and The Prisoner of Azkaban. I've never even watched any of the films, seriously. I've never read the books, never seen the films, never played any of the games. But for some reason, I don't know, I looked at the back and I thought, oh, that looks quite good. He can fly around on this big bird. That's why I bought it, because he can fly on this bird. Honestly, I thought that looks good. I tell you, I must have Dragon Guard in my head, because you know where he flies around in the dragon. That must have been what it was, like Connection. But I've actually played, now I'd say I've only played about an hour of it, but what I've played of it I've really enjoyed, even though I don't know the actual storyline or anything, and I do know Expelliarmus and all that, but he's got the other spells that I've never heard of. But yeah, it's alright actually, for somebody that's not a Harry Potterite. Quite enjoyable. I picked up this a couple of days ago for £1 in a charity shop, and it's Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles, and had a little go at this, and it's quite good actually for a Star Wars game, because they brought out so many of them, didn't they, and some of them are right ropey. The Phantom Menace on the PS1, it's a bit, it's not great, is it? But say I quite liked what I played of this. I mean, you just go around with your lightsaber and you just kind of chop kind of robots' heads off and kill people, but I enjoyed what I played of it. So that was £1. Oh yes, I had a very nice little find in a charity shop. I paid £2.50, ooh, £2.50 for this, and it's an American version, and it's completely sealed, and it's Shadow of the Colossus. Now, don't know what it was doing over here in the UK, and I don't know if that's the equivalent to the Platinum series in America. It's called the Greatest Hits, so maybe it's like we have the Platinum. Do you have the Greatest Hits over there? But it's completely sealed, and I do own Shadow of the Colossus, but I just couldn't, I don't know, what is it, I just couldn't turn it down, seeing it in a shop for £2.50 completely sealed. And I'm not really one that likes to keep games sealed. I like to open them, do you know what I mean? I like to give all my games a play. But I might make an exception for this, seeing that I do have it, and I shall keep this as a spare backup copy, because I do own an American PS2, so, and I do have a few American PS2 games. But yeah, I was delighted to find that, because that goes for a few bob, I think, on eBay. I also picked up another Sega Saturn game. Don't mind old football games. This is a football game called 98 WLS, which is World League Soccer. Can't get my words out. I don't mind old soccer games on consoles. I'm not that mad about the old FIFA and Shock Horror Pro Evo and all that. I'm not really that mad about them, but I like the older football games. I mean, I loved Sensible Soccer, and I liked Kick-Off, and I like some of those Neo Geo type games that I've got on emulation. Can't remember what they're called, but football ones. So I picked this up, and I thought I'd give it a go. The only thing is my Sega Saturn seems to be playing silly buggers at the moment. It was working the other week when I was playing my Manx TT, but it seems to have developed a fault. I did have a good look on YouTube and typed in this, that and the other. I thought maybe there was a problem with the laser, and I was looking at this video, you know, about the laser might be too low and you can raise it. That's not the problem. Then someone said about the battery, if you take it out and leave it out, but I think there's a problem with the motherboard, from what I can ascertain, and if that's the case, it means it's buggered, doesn't it? it means I'm going to have to get a new one. So I'm a bit miffed about that. My Sega Saturn seems to have died on me. It comes on, but it seems to stick at the intro. Just stick, the picture just sticks, and occasionally it'll go into the game, and then the screen will go black, and it's just not doing what it's meant to be doing. So it's now sitting on my desk to my right, just looking at me going like this, not working. So a bit disappointed about that. I also picked up 2 Xbox 360 games. They're doing 2 for 20 and 2 for a tenner, and I picked up 2 for 20. I'm really pleased to get these actually. The first one is Shadow of the Damned. It just looks crazy, like you know, I don't know that much about this, but just by looking at the screenshots, it looks like a crazy shooter kind of killing. It looks like he's a demon slayer or something, and it looks really good. So I'd had my beadies on this for a while, so when I saw it was going for a tenner, I thought I'm having that. And the other game, disregard the price on that, but that was part of the 2 for £20, is Rage. And I also got a, where is it? I also, yes, I'm not lying, it also came with a free DVD as well, which tells you about Rage and how it was made and whatnot. I really was interested in this game. I know some people have slated it. It's a driving game and it's a shooting game, but it just looks fabulous, and I like driving games, so I'm going to give it a shot. And for a, you know, for a tenner, I mean, it was only out, like, it seems like it was only out last month, you know what I mean? It was out, it hasn't been out that long, so pardon me. So I thought I have to get it, and the fact that it came with a free DVD as well, I thought that was pretty good. I picked up, let's see, I picked up, yeah, this is another game I picked up, folks, because I was told, I'd never played a wrestling game, and I've been encouraged to try it. So I picked up 2. I paid £1 each for them, different shops. I found SmackDown Just Bring It On. I had a go at it. I didn't really like it, to be honest. Didn't like it. Am I playing the wrong wrestling game? Tell me if I am, but I didn't really like it. And the other one I got for £1 is Legends of Wrestling, and I had a little go at this, and this plays better than that, but I'm still a bit about it. I mean, I like fighters and everything, so, but the jury's still out on wrestling games, honestly. So I found this game in CEX. Oh yeah, there's a few more CEX games. This one is called Paparazzi, £1.50. I thought by the shot on the front, you know, that you were going to go around and take photos of like mad things going on, do you know what I mean, like this building's collapsing, or you know, somebody's giraffe has escaped from a zoo and managed to climb up somewhere bizarre, and you I don't know what I'm talking about, but I thought it was mad, you know, stuff like that. But when I put the game in, and it makes me feel a bit seedy, it's, you know, you're just taking pictures of women. They're just like models standing there in their bikini or their kind of skimpy clothes, and you kind of have to wave at them, or you make comments and ask them to dance, and if they look in your direction you can capture the right picture. So I was a bit disappointed with that. Paparazzi is more like CD Sun, a CD, not like CD, a CD Sun reporter filming a page 3 girl. That's what it feels like when you play it. So that's Paparazzi. I got the first Destroy All Humans, £1.50 from CEX. Loved the second one. I picked that up ages ago, and I was raving about it. Such good fun. I know it gets a bit repetitive eventually, but it's such a fun game, and it's actually funny. So I was delighted to pick that up. And £1.50 is nothing, is it? I picked up this game for 40p, Mind Games. It's got things like drafts and backgammon, and I know it sounds really boring, but my sister is a really good drafts player, and I just thought we might have a bit of fun playing it on you know, the PS2, we'll probably end up playing it properly, but I just thought I'd pick it up. It was only 40 pence. I picked up this, I think I paid £1.50 for this, NBA Street version 3, and I had a go at this at the weekend. As I said, my cousin was over, so there's quite a lot of gaming going on, and it was really good. I mean, I was bigging up NBA Jam a while ago, and this is really good too, really good fun. Can't say I've seen this one before. It's don't know, I didn't know there was an NBA, even though I'm not a big basketball fan, you know, like I know everything about the basketball games, but I thought that was a bit of a rare-ish game, but not sure. But it plays really, really well. The first time I played, I lost badly, and the second time I played, I managed to win, so I was delighted. Would definitely be playing this again. I picked up this, the first Star Wars Battlefront, £2 from a charity shop. Not the first one, the second one, sorry. The second one. I picked up the first one not that long ago and really enjoyed what I played of this. I tried a little bit of this. I believe it's meant to be better than the first one, but so far I think the first one's better, but that's just my opinion, and I've only played a bit of it. But I was delighted to get that, so that's completed my little Battlefront collection there. I picked this up for £1.99. I was really pleased to find this because I don't own it. Silent Hill 3. I've got one and I've got two. I've actually got two versions of two. I've got the normal one and the director's cut. Big fan. But I didn't have free, and I believe free is brilliant. I played a demo of it some years ago and I really enjoyed it, so very much looking forward to playing this. In fact, me and my cousin actually watched the film Silent Hill over the weekend and really enjoyed it as well. I hadn't seen it. I've had it on my shelf for ages, and it's the first time we watched it, and it kind of made Silent Hill the game make sense, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? So and it's got me all revved up to play this as well. And these are the two games I found at Game Station for 49p. Both sports games, nothing much to write home about, but I was buggered if I was going away without any 49p games, and one of them's the original SSX, and the other one is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and they're both okay. Both okay. So that was my 49p effort. And the last thing I picked up from CEX wasn't actually a game, it was a film, and it just happened to be on the counter when I was paying for my purchases, and I thought, £4, that's alright, and it's the film Green Lantern. And again, me and my cousin watched this as well at the weekend, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I love Green Lantern, he's a cool dude. Yeah, it's a pretty good film. It's not like mind-blowing or anything, and the graphics in it range from excellent to a little bit iffy. The CGI at times on his costume look a little bit, it looks like his head's not attached to the costume properly, but saying that, it's still quite a feast for the eyes, and it's not a bad story, and you know, I love my superhero films, so I'm hoping to pick up Captain America soon. So that's about the size of it, really. I've tried to fly through all those games very quickly because there were so many. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I probably won't be doing a pickups video for a while because I actually started working today full time properly, and I don't get paid for a month. It's a month. I've got to wait nearly a month before I get paid, so I've got about a week's wages to live on for about a month, so I'm going to be very frugal. So I probably won't be doing a pickups video, and if I do, it'll probably be about 3 or 4 games I found for something like £1. But anyway, thanks very much for watching.